Hello, and welcome to yet another edition of Fraud Friday, where I teach you how to commit fraud and get away with it. The good news is committing fraud is easier and more fun than you think. What you want to do is look for weaknesses in the systems of checks and balances. It turns out most of these systems are creating under the premise that most people are honest. The other good news is fraud is relatively difficult to detect because it's not always crystal clear. In fact, it's rarely crystal clear that fraud is being committed. Therefore, if an analyst suspects fraud, they're usually not willing to bring it forward. Also, if they actually do bring it forward, it's usually pretty easy to convince them to drop their allegations. Use the rule of percentages to your advantage. 95% of the time, be fraud free. Only commit fraud those 5% of the times when you're extra sure to get away with it and to bring down the averages in terms of detection. Finally, investors are mainly concerned about winning and having their investments return. In fact, if you look at the Victorian age stock markets in London, you'll see credibly that 1 out of 5 companies was completely fraudulent, and yet the investors in that era didn't care because they were making money. Why am I thinking about this yet again? Well, because it's in the news yet again. I see that 401k lawsuits keep piling up despite the fact that other things have slowed down during the COVID-19 pandemic. I see that an ex-Raymond James broker faces criminal charges for stealing a mere $1 million. And it's not just the investment management that's getting in on the game. Other corporations are too. In fact, I see that 46 states are now accusing drug makers of price collusion. But follow my tips, my friend, and you won't get caught. Of course, I speak about this in jest. What I really don't understand is long-term plans. If you're going for the short term, commit fraud, and then you'll make a lot of money in the short term, and then all your revenues will completely cut off, and you'll find yourself in jail. Or you could think about it for the long term. You could put yourself out there as the honest, ethical person, use that to attract clients, to actually deliver that honest, ethical behavior, retain those clients, and let that lead to be a driver of your profits, long term or short term. Again, what I want us to do is demand better of ourselves. I think we can do better. I think we can put ourselves out there in this business, in the investment management business, as honest, ethical people, and we can use that to drive revenues over the long term. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy your Friday. We'll talk again next week, I'm sure.